Very good morning, students. In our previous lecture, we started your third unit, that is linked lists. We discussed what is a linked list, how it is advantageous over your arrays. That is basically we have seen the differences between arrays and linked lists. Okay, each representation, I mean, if you use array or if you use linked lists, some of the advantageous things you will get as well as some of the drawbacks also you will get. When we are using linked lists, the advantages we discussed, the dynamic size of your linked list is the advantageous point, and the other one, we said your linked list, it is whenever you are doing the insertion or deletion, it is very easy to do. Okay, these two types of things which are not there in our arrays, we are getting with the help of linked lists. So these two are advantages over arrays. So then what are the drawbacks in your linked lists? In the sense, the random access is not allowed, as the memory addresses, as the memory locations, they are not contiguous. We cannot access the elements in a randomized manner. So what we have to do, we have to start from the head and we have to proceed towards the end. So in that direction only we can perform the access. Okay, generally we can access all the elements in your linked list in that fashion only. So another drawback is the extra pointer what we are using. We are using in order to store the addresses of the next node. In current node, what we are doing, along with the data, we are also maintaining a next pointer. That is the drawback when we consider. So then we discussed the representation of the linked list. Generally, how we are representing an array means with the help of its name. So if you are declaring an array, let us say integer a of 4, if you are representing an array like that, then what will be the array representation? How we represent the array in your programming? In the sense, whenever we want to access an element or whenever we want to manipulate an element inside an array, we do it with the help of array name followed by the index value, isn't it? Array name followed by the index value. Generally the array name will represent the array in our programming. Then how we represent a linked list? Generally what reference we are going to have to a linked list? In the sense, the head pointer, the head of that array, the first node of the array, first node of the linked list is going to be the representation of your linked list. So that first node where we are storing, the first node's address where we are storing, in the sense, inside your head pointer, inside the head pointer we are storing. So that head pointer will act like a reference, will act like a representation to your linked list. So we have seen the example of a linked list, this one. Here we have how many nodes? 4 nodes we have in our linked list. So for your understanding, here this is your first node. This is your first node, and the first node's data part is holding the data 5, and the first node's next part is holding the address of this second node, entire node, isn't it? So let us say the first node's address, if you consider 101, some 505, some 702, some random addresses, because they are not contiguous, I'm considering like this, some random addresses I'm taking. So in your head pointer, what we are doing, if this is your head pointer, inside this head pointer we are storing the address of the first node. That first node is this one. This first node's address is 101, and that address we are storing over here. Then what should be the type of this head node? What should be the type of this node? As if, let us assume in a simpler manner we will take. So let us say we have a normal variable integer. So I will take the whiteboard for this explanation because it will go okay. So like this. So if you have a normal integer variable, let us say integer a equals to 20, like this we are doing, then what will happen? Internal to your computer's memory, a block of memory will be allocated for this variable a, and into that block this value gets stored 20. And then what will be the address of this block? Some random address. So I'm assuming over here some 5050, the address of this memory location. So this is your memory location and this is the address of that memory location. So this is location and here this one is address of that location. So like this. So over here, what is this 20 then? This 20 is the value which we are storing at that location. Value. So this entire thing will be considered as A. This entire thing will be considered as A. So now, so if you want to store the address of this A, 5050, that address, if you want to store the address of this A, what you need? We need a pointer variable. Isn't it? We need a pointer variable. First of all, we know that one. We need a pointer variable. Then what should be the type of that pointer? What should be the type of that pointer? That pointer type should be integer because it is going to hold the address of an integer value. It is going to hold the address of an integer value. So we need an integer pointer. Then how we are declaring that integer pointer? Simply what we are doing, after the type, use that asterisk symbol. After the type, use that pointer operator or asterisk symbol. Int star ptr. So now this ptr is capable of holding the address of A. ptr equals to, how we get the address of A? Simply use the address operator and %A. So like this, we can store the address of this A variable into this ptr. So now ptr, it is another memory location, and this memory location is going to have this 5050, and this memory location is going to point this A variable. This memory location is going to point this A variable. Like this, the conclusion. Isn't it? Like this, the conclusion. Similar to that one, when we are having an linked list, then over here, this head pointer, what it is doing? This head pointer, it is storing the address of this node. Isn't it? It is storing the address of this node. And this entire node is of what type? Node type. Isn't it? It is class node. Isn't it? This is class node. By creating an object to that node class, we are getting this in our memory. By creating an object to that class node. By creating an object to that class node, we are getting this memory locations in our computer's memory. So in order to store the address of this node, we need a node pointer. So this head, it is of node pointer type. So as you can see this here, our class node. So if you create an object of this node class, how you can create generally? Node of, let us say, node of n1. Okay, node of n1. So now this n1 is a node. Internal to this n1, what we are going to have, as you can see over here, this n1 is going to have data as well as next. Isn't it? So this, when you are creating a pointer, to store this n1's address, because now we have created n1. So now, in order to store the address of this n1, we need a pointer. We need a pointer of type what? We need a pointer of type node, isn't it? We need a pointer of type node, because when you have int a and when you need a pointer ptr to store the address of this a, what you are doing? You are creating an int star pointer. Similar to that one, n1 you have. N1's type is node. If you want to store the address of this n1, what you need? You need an head pointer. Head pointer of type what? Node star. Here you can correlate the stuff. Integer variable to store the address, we need an integer pointer. Node variable to store the address, we need a node pointer. That's it. Very simple concept. So whenever this next variable we are creating, because this next is going to point another node which is of type node only. node only. To store that address of another node, we need a node pointer next. We need a node pointer next. So in that way, in your linked list, when you are linking the lists, when you are linking the nodes like this first node is of type node. This second node is of type node. This third node is of type node. So the first data part, of course, it is going to be type specific, but whereas the second part, it is next, isn't it? It is next, and this next should be of type node star, because this next is going to point another node. This next is going to store the address of another node. So that is the reason why we need to create node star next. Node star next. So next type must be node star, and head is also going to point the first node. Head is also going to point the first node. So what should be the type of this head? Again node star. Again node star only. So the head type, head pointers type must be node star, as well as next pointer, which is going to exist in every node, whose type is also going to be node star only, because indirectly they are going to point another nodes. Indirectly they are going to point nodes. That is the reason why we are going like this. Okay, so over here, this data, as if this list is of type integer, this data, it should be of type int. It should be of type int. So over here, this head, it should be of node star. It should be of node star. Then this thing is going to have the address of what? Address of this second node. This entire thing. Okay, so that 505 will come over here. And this next, it should be of type what? It should be of type, as it is pointing the node address. As it is pointing the node address, it should be of type node pointer. So how we declare a node pointer? Simply node followed by star. So this next should be node star. So here this part, it is data, as well as it is next. It is next. So over here, this data, it should be of type integer. This next, it should be of node star. Like this. Here also same thing. This is data and this is next. Data must be of type integer. Next must be of type node star. Here same thing. Data, node. Next. Here data of type integer. Next is of type node star. Like this. So here in this particular node, this next pointer must point the next node, that is this one. And this node's address is 702. So that 702 will come over here. So over here, this node, it must point to the next node, and next node's address is 803. So that 803 must come over here. So like this. Next thing in this, as this is the last node and it is not going to point any way. So this next must be null. This next must be null. In that way, we are creating a linked list. In that way, we are creating a linked list. Drawbacks we discussed, representation, and this code you have to understand. This code. So every node, as it is going to have two things. The first thing is the data part, which is of type integer. The second thing is the next pointer, which is going to point the next node. So the type must be node star. So the type must be node star. So this node only we are going to use in our program implementation. So quickly we see, we are not going to discuss the complete linked list program at this point. I will do a small part. I will create 3 different nodes. Okay, I will create 3 different nodes, and with the help of those 3 different nodes, I will try to write the code. And we are going to modify the same written code again and again until we end this class. I mean, until we end this unit. I mean to say, whatever I am starting in today's class, that same code I am going to use repeatedly, and I am going to modify that same code. Okay, so quickly we see how we do the implementation of a singly linked list, okay, by using your C++ program. So for that to understand, Okay, I will start writing the program. So for that I will open my IDE, that is Dev C++. So over here I'm writing my program. Sorry, iostream .h, not required .h. So the next thing we have to take our namespace. Using directive, I forgot using namespace std. Okay, the next thing we have, we have to write our node class, which I have already given class. So generally you do remember node spelling, capital N O D E. Always the class name we must start with a capital letter. So node, then whatever we are going to write in it, we make it public. So for that, I'm taking like this. So public in it, we are taking two things. The first thing is integer data, as it is, as I have given. So the next pointer, it should be of node star. Node star next only. All variable names, they must be small letters. So this is my class. So inside my main, I will do the implementation of my linked list. So generally what I will do means I will create three nodes for your understanding with full names. Okay, we do remember the names of those three nodes. Okay, we do remember the names of the three nodes. So what I will do, I will create three nodes. My first node name will be, I'm giving first. Okay, I will create three nodes. So inside my first node, I will store the data like 1. Okay, so it is going to have some address. So addresses, as we can't see, so I'm assuming. Okay, for addresses, what I will do, I will assume. So it is let us say 1001. So then what we do, we create our second node, okay, with some data in it. The data we store is 2, and the address we are assuming here is sorry, 2002, some random address. Okay, again I'm taking my third node. And here it is 3. I'm storing the data. This is data part, and this is next part. Here also same thing. This is data, and this is next. Again same thing, data and next. So what we do in the next part, okay, so in the next part we have to store this address 2002. So like this, so a link will be established like this. Again here, this is 3003 you consider. So here that address should come 3003, a link will be established. Then finally what we have to do, this next part we have to make it as null pointer, so that it should not point anywhere. And we create one head pointer, head, and in that we store the address of the first node, that is 1001. So a link will come like this. So this entire structure I want to create with the help of program, okay. So first what we do, first I create one head pointer without any links. First I will create without any links, I don't form any links, and I will create my linked list. So see that one. So quickly go here. So int main of void. So then in it, what I have to do, first I will create the head pointer, which should be of type node star, because it is going to hold the address of a node. So node head. So initially, as it is not having any address, as it should not go to anywhere, initially I'm making it as null. Initially, I'm making it as null. So then what I'm doing, I'm creating my first node. Node star, node star first equals to new node of. New node of. So first node I have created. Then I am creating my second node. Node star second equals to new node of. Memory we have to allocate. So I am allocating the memory with the help of new operator. Okay. Node dynamic memory allocation. New operator in the sense dynamic memory allocation. And for a linked list, we do dynamic memory allocation only. No static memory allocation. So node of. So this will create 3 nodes. Okay. Normal way of creating an object, class name followed by the pointer reference to that memory, whatever we are allocating from the heap. Okay. So first will be the pointer reference to my first node, second will be the pointer reference to the second node, third will be the pointer reference to the third node. So now what will happen? So we have created 3 different nodes, first, second, third. So now what I have to do? Okay. So now what I have to do, I have to establish the links in between them, and I have to store the data into them. So see, so far what I have done, that I will show you. This we want, this output we want, basically this output we want. Okay. So far what we have done, we have created a head pointer, head. Okay. And it is not pointing to anywhere, it is holding null, because we made it as null. As you can see over here, head pointer equals to null we said. Okay. So this is null, it is holding null. Then what we have done, we have created first node created with name first. Okay. First node created, so I'm assuming address same. Okay. First node we have created, data part still we have not initialized, next part still we have not initialized, and the name of this node is first. Okay. Then we have created the second node. Okay. Second node we have created here. So second node we have created like this. So data part is holding nothing, and next part is holding nothing, and this name is second. Okay. Then what we have done, we have created the third node. Over here we have created the third node. So third node, something like this we have created, and in it again data part we have not initialized anything, and next part as we have not initialized anything, and here the name is third. Name is third. So assume the address is 2002 3003. So far we have done this much. So now first what we have to do, we have to store the first address into head, isn't it? We have to store the address of first node into head. How we can store that address? Go to end, here enter, simply make head as head equals to first. Okay. Head equals to first. So now whatever first pointer's address is, first node's address, that is 101, it will come into this. It will come into this. Here the first node's address will come. First node's address, that is 1001, will come. Okay. So the first node's address 1001, control Z, 1001 is stored here, and a link will be established like this. Whenever you are storing the address of one node into some other pointer, a link will be established. So next what we have to do, we have to make this data part, we have to initialize this data part. Okay. So that data part, how we can initialize? Okay. First it is a class, isn't it? First what it is an object. It is an object pointer. It is an object pointer. So how we can access the internal content of this first? Inside this first we have two things. data part as well as next part. So in order to access the internal things, we have to make use of the arrow operator, indirect access arrow operator, because it is a pointer, it is not a regular object. So how we can make use of arrow operator means, first off, like this, first of data, isn't it? First of data is equals to 1. So what we have done, inside this data part we have initialized 1, so 1 will come over here. So next what we have to do, the address of this second node we have to store over here. The address of this second node we have to store here. How we can store that address? So first of next equals to second. First of next equals to second. So what will happen? Second is holding the address, this one, 2002. Second's address is 2002. So this 2002 will come over here. First of next we set 2002. First of next we set 2002. So this 2002 will come over here. So 2002, a link will be established from here to here like this. Okay. So this much we have done. Now inside this second we have to initialize the data part. Inside the second we have to initialize the data part. So second of data must be 2 we said. Okay, 2. So that 2 will come over here. As you can see, we are slowly proceeding. That 2 will come over here. So next what we have to do, inside this second of next we have to store the address of third. So second of next equals to third, THIRT, third, that's it. So next what we have to do, we have stored second of next is equals to third we said. So this 3003 will come over here. 3003 will come over here. So what will happen when 3003 will come over here? A link will be established from here to here like this. So next what we are doing, third, okay, third of data equals to some 3 I am saying, equals to 3. So what will happen, where that 3 will go? Inside third node's data part. So that is this one. Third node's data part is nothing but this one. So 3 will come over here. So this last thing, what we have to do, we have to make it as null. This last thing, this next pointer of the last node, we have to make it as null. How we can make that one? THIRD, third of next must be null. That's it. So this entire thing we have done, and you won't get any output for this program unless you print. You won't get any output for this program unless you print, and that printing, because as I said, random access using the head variable, random access is not possible. So what we have to do, we have to start from the head pointer and we have to move towards the end. That very soon we are going to discuss. Okay, so for now I will just execute this program and I will show you that this program will execute successfully and we are not going to get any output. So SLL, singly linked list implementation .cpp. Okay, so implementation IMP I am keeping over here. SLL IMP.cpp, my program name. So it got saved, then compile the program. Hopefully it gets compiled successfully. It is taking time. Okay, it is successfully compiled. So execution, as I told you, we don't get any output for this one, because we are not printing anything on the output screen. Okay, so next thing, yes, over here we are not getting any output. See, no output, simply process exited after these many seconds and nothing is printed on the output screen. Press any key to continue. So we are pressing, so directly the program, the control is coming back to our program. Okay, so minimize this thing, whatever we have done the implementation, Very soon we are going to make use this same code again and again. Okay, so the next thing in our implementation with 3 nodes we have done. So this implementation you have to remember. So next thing is the traversal. So previously we got this new term, and I told you very soon we are going to discuss this traversal. So that we are doing now. Traversal is nothing but visiting all the nodes present in your linked list. Okay, visiting in the sense not only visit, but also we generally we also print that one on the output screen. So here if you see this linked list, we start from head. From where we start from head, and we move towards the end of the linked list. And in between we visit all our nodes. So generally we can't do that one. I mean, we should not do that one by moving this head. We should not move this head. This head must remain here only in order to represent this entire linked list. If you move this head over here, what will happen? Let us assume I am moving this head to this point. Then what will happen? So moving it is very simple. What we have to do is head of next equals to first of next, isn't it? Head of next equals to first of next we can do, or head equals to first of next, like that we can do, or head equals to head of next also we can do. So over here you see there are different ways to move the head towards in this direction. Okay, because moving the head is an important job, is an important task over here. So first of all we have to know how we move the head, and what happens if we move the head, that also we have to discuss. Two things: first of all, how we move the head, and what happens if we move the head. Two things we have to understand. First of all, we see how we move the head. So simply a simple line of code will move your head in the positive direction, that is towards the end, we can say. So head equals to head of next. If you write like this, head equals to head of next, if you write this simple line of code, your head will move one step ahead. So generally the meaning we have to understand, what is head and what is head of next, we have to understand. So generally what is head? The location, the memory location of this head is nothing but head. When you represent it at the left side of your assignment operator, it will give you the memory location. If you use this head at the right side of the assignment operator, then it will give the location's value. What is that? The address it will give. If you use this head right side to the assignment operator, here this is right side and this is left side. So this thing you have to understand, because so many times we did this exercise, isn't it? Whenever we are having a variable a, okay, whenever we are having a variable a with some location and the value 20 in it, so let us say int b, I'm declaring another variable int b. So this b is nothing but it is another memory location. Okay, so this is also integer, this is also integer. This understanding is important. So equals to assignment operator we have. So how we use our variable with this equals to operator, that plays a vital role. Because if you use this variable a over here, then what this a represents? Is this a is going to represent this 20? No, it will not represent this 20 left side to the assignment operator. Rather what it will represent this memory location, this entire memory location. So if you do a equals to 30, then what will happen? A equals to 30 you are doing, then what will happen? This location's value gets replaced. This memory location's value gets replaced with that 30 value. So 30 will come over here like this, because using a left side to the assignment operator will give the memory location but not the value. Okay, so using this a right side to the assignment operator, right now what I am doing, I am using b equals to a. Using this variable a right side to the assignment operator, what it will give? It will not give the memory location this time. What it will give? It will give the value, this 30. So what will happen? Whatever A is holding, that same thing will be stored inside B. So that 30 will come over here. So that 30 will come in this B's location. So right now what we are doing, we are using this A right side to the assignment operator. So using left side will give you the memory location. Using right side will give you the value. So this you have to understand. Location. Using left side will give you the location. Using right side will give you the value. Here also same thing. When you are using this head, left side, it will give the memory location, not the value. It will give the memory location. But same head, if you use right side, then it will give the value, that is address. Hopefully you understood. So now what I am doing, head equals to, so this memory location equals to head of next. What is head? I am using head right side. So what is this head? The head's value. Head's value is nothing but the address. What is that? 1001. 1001 of next. It simply means 1001 of next. So inside 1001's next, what we have? 2000 we have. That 2000 we are storing over here. That 2002 we are storing in this memory location. So ultimately what will happen? This 2002 will also come in this head. When you do head equals to head of next, that 2000 will come over here. 2002 will come over here. So storing 2002 in this location, does it mean it is pointing over here? No, no more it is pointing there. Rather what it will do, it will point the 2002 location. What is that 2002 location? This one. So indirectly what is going on here? The head is moving one step ahead, one node ahead. The head is moving one node ahead. So in order to move the head one node ahead, what we have to do? We have to write this simple piece of code. Head equals to head of next. Head equals to head of next. What this will do? This will move the head one node ahead. This simple piece of code will move the head one step ahead. So moving the head one step ahead, what will happen? Yeah, we are removing this node from our consideration, from our linked list consideration. So once the head is moved one step ahead, do we have any kind of access to this node? Simply not, because we are excluding this 1001 from our consideration. See, are we storing anywhere in our entire linked list? Because now the linked list consideration is here to here, like this. Okay, in this entire consideration, are we storing this 1001 anywhere in our consideration? No, we are not storing. Simply we are not storing. This last thing is null basically. So we are not storing anywhere. So that is the reason why moving head one step ahead. Moving head one step ahead will remove the first node from our linked list. Will remove the first node from our linked list. Again, if you move one more time the head, one more time if you write the code, and one more time if you move the head, then what will happen? This head will come and point the last node, that is third node, and this node will also get removed from our consideration. This node will also get removed from our consideration. So that is the drawback. That is the problem. Moving head, it should not be done. It is a problem. So how to move the head, that we have discussed, and what happens if we move the head, that also we discussed. Two things we have discussed. Then how we can access our linked list? When you have the linked list, how we can access that linked list? So our linked list was like this. So now we have to consider, now we have to know how we can access our linked list. So let me give just some more time. This entire thing we have to remove so that we can have the link, because drawing that complete list one more time, it is a time consuming process. So that I'm not going to do. So here this last thing, it must be null, because we made it null, but I forgot to represent over here. So like this we have our linked list. So then if moving the head is not a good choice, moving the head is not a good option, then how we do the what we call access, how we do the traversal, how we visit all the nodes in our linked list. So for that sake, what we do means we create another temporary pointer similar to this head. We create another temporary pointer of type node only, because head is of node type. So we create a new temporary pointer node star temp, T-E-M-P, temp equals to head. Equals to head. Whatever head is holding, simply push that thing into temp. So what will happen? A separate variable temp will be created, pointer temp will be created with some memory, and it is going to point the first node because we are storing 1001. Using head, right side to the assignment operator will give you the address 1001, and that same address using pointer left side to the assignment operator will give you the memory location, and we are storing this 1001 over here like this. So temp is also pointing the first node, head is also pointing the first node, temp is also pointing the first node. So now what we have to do in order to in order to do the traversal, what we have to do, first you read all these three statements over here. Singly linked list traversal. Traversal is nothing but it is a way of accessing all the elements from the linked list. It is a way. Traversal means it is a way of accessing all the elements, whatever elements we have, whatever nodes content we have, we are going to access the nodes content. Okay, so that is nothing but your traversal. Accessing is nothing but retrieving the value and printing on the output screen. Retrieving the value and printing on the output screen is nothing but accessing. Okay, in a singly linked list traversal, all data elements of the singly linked list are accessed and the same is printed for your reference. For the reference. So singly linked list traversal means what we are doing, all data elements means data parts of all different nodes we are accessing. And we are printing the same on the output screen. Let us do the traversal of the given linked list, and for that purpose what we do, we use a function print list. We are using a user defined function, and that function name is print list function. Here you can see that. To do the traversal, we are writing the complete code inside this print list function. Inside this print list function. So this print list function is going to print all the node data parts on the output screen. All the nodes data parts on the output screen. So that how we do here, you simply check. First of all, we have to check whether the linked list is empty or not. Whether the linked list is empty or not. These two things only we will discuss, and the rest of the things we will discuss in our upcoming videos. So to do the traversal, what we have to do? First of all, we have to pass the head node. We have to pass the head node to that print list function. We have to pass the head node to that print list function, and using that head node, what we do is we create our temporary node inside that print list function. We create our temporary pointer inside our print list function, and using that function only we are going to do the traversal. Okay, we are going to do the traversal. So concept is very simple. So here already I have explained. So print list function, what we pass? We pass the head function. Head. So that head, it is of type temp star, that we know. So by default, what it will do means from actual parameters to formal parameters, it will create another pointer only. It will create another pointer only. So to the temp function, print list function, if you pass the head, so when we call this print list function, what we do? We pass the head, isn't it? So print list of, like this we call, print list of head. So this head is holding the first node's value. This head is holding the first node's value. So that value, this is your actual parameter. When you are calling the function, this is your actual parameter. Actual parameter. Then what we are doing, this actual parameters content we are copying into the formal parameter, that is into temp. So whatever head is holding, let us say head is holding 1001, that same 1001 will get copied into this temp. 1001 will get copied into this temp. Now temp will hold the first location's address. So now for our linked list, we have two heads. First is the actual head, and second is temp. First is the actual head and the second is temp. Like this it will have. First is the actual head and second is temp. Okay. So next what we are doing, we are checking whether temp is null or not. If head is null, then temp also becomes null. Because whatever we have inside head, the same thing will get copied into formal parameter. This is your formal. Whatever you have inside actual parameter, that same thing will get copied into formal parameter. If your head is null, that means if your linked list is empty, in that case only your head will become null. If your head is null, your temp will also become null. And this code, it will become true. If temp is null, this will become true. Then what will happen? You will get this message: linked list is empty on your output screen. Linked list is empty on your output screen. That is not the case. In our case, head is holding some address because we have 3 nodes in our linked list. So what will happen? This condition will become false. This condition will become false and the control will come to this point, to this while loop. So simply what we are checking, whether temp is not equals to null. Till what extent this loop will run means until and unless your temp will become null. In the first case, temp is not equals to null, isn't it? Temp is holding some value, as you can see over here. Temp is holding 1001. So temp is not null. So the condition is true. Temp is not null. So the condition is true. At this case, the condition is true. So in the first iteration, the condition is true. Then what will happen? We are accessing temp of data. That is, we are saying cout temp of data. So what is temp of data? Temp is pointing to first node. Temp of data is 1. So on the output screen, what we are doing basically is we are printing temp of data. Cout of temp of data. We are saying cout of temp of data. That is 1. 1 you will get on the output screen. Then what we are saying, we are giving some space, as you can see here. We are giving some space. So that space will be given over here. That space will come after this 1. So next thing, what we are saying, temp equals to temp of next. This is very, very, very important. Temp equals to temp of next. Now my temp is 1001 and I am saying temp equals to temp of next. What I am saying? Temp equals to temp of next. Temp of next. So this analysis is very important. Temp, as I am using left side to the assignment operator, so it is a memory location. It is a memory location. Again, temp I am using right side to the assignment operator, so it is an address. 1001 of next. 1001 of next. So 1001, here it is. Of next, this one. 1001 of next, this one. 2002. So this entire thing will represent 2002. So this 2002 I am storing into temp. 2002 I am storing into temp. So this 2002 I am storing into temp. So what will happen? Here this temp will be replaced with 2002. So here 2002 will come. So when 2002 will come, what will happen? This link will be no more. This link will be no more and a new link will be established from here to here, like this. Here to here. Now my temp is pointing to the second node. Now my temp is pointing to the second node. Of course, my head still remains. My representer still remains over here only, first node only. So this, what it will do, moving the temp instead of head, moving the temp will not damage your linked list. Your linked list will remain intact and you do the traversal with the help of this temp. With the help of this temp. So this, till this point it is clear. So the next thing what we are doing, again after this, we said temp equals to temp of next. After this, the loop ends. So the control will go back to the loop and checks this condition. Temp not equals to null. Still, my temp, it is now holding 2002. My temp, it is holding 2002, which is not null. Which is not null. So the condition, second time also it is true. Second time also it is true. So again, what we are doing, cout of temp of data. Cout of temp of data. Temp pointing to 2002. 2002 of data, that is 2. You will get that 2 on the output screen. You will get that 2 on the output screen. Next, what we have, again, one more space. After temp of data, we have space. So that space, it will give over here. Like this, you will get this space. Then, after that, again, we are saying second time, temp equals to temp of next. So temp equals to temp of next. This time, you remove this one. You remove this entire thing. Like this. Now, temp right side will give, left side will give you the memory location. right side will give you the value. What is the temp value? 2002. 2002 of next. 2002 of next. 2002 is where? Here it is. 2002's next, that is 3003. So this entire thing will represent 3003. So this 3003 will go into this location, 3003. So that thing will again comes over here, 3003. So storing this 3003 at this address. Yeah, will this link remains? No, it will be removed. This link will go off. This link will go off, and certainly what will happen when this link goes off, certainly a new link will be established from this temp to this new location. Okay, like this, a new link will be established from here to here. So now after this, what we are doing, again the closing of the loop, closing bracket of the loop. So the loop will iterate for the next iteration. Temp not equals to null. Third time, temp, what is this? 3003. Temp not equals to null. Third time also condition true, because it is not null, the condition true. So next, see out of temp of data. Temp of data. Temp, it is 3003. Of data, it is 3. 3003 is here and it is 3. Okay, so you will get that 3 on the output screen. You will get that 3 on the output screen, and again you have one more space over here, so that space also you will get on the output screen here. Like this you will get the space. Like this you will get the space over here. Okay, so next what we have, after printing the data, temp equals to temp of data, and after printing that space, we have temp equals to temp of next. One more time we are saying temp equals to temp of next. So remove this entire thing. This thing you remove. This thing also you remove. Okay. So now my temp, right side to the assignment operator, left side to the assignment operator will give you the memory location. Right side to the assignment operator will give you the value. What is temp value? 3003. So that 3003 I am keeping here. 3003 of next. 3003 of next. What it is? 3003 is here and next is here. What it is? It is null. 3003 of next is null. So that null will come over here, and the same thing will be stored inside temp, and that same thing will also be stored inside this temp. So here also what you will get? You will get null only. N-U-L-L. Null. Okay. So after this temp equals to temp of next, we have again closing of this loop. So the loop will iterate for the next iteration. The loop will go to the next iteration and check for this condition. Temp not equals to null. But this time when you check the temp's content, it is null only. Okay, right now the temp's content is null. So null not equals to null, condition false. Null not equals to null, the condition false, the loop will terminate and the function will also terminate. The print list function will also terminate. So in this way, we are implementing the linked list. So the same function I will write in my code. Okay, print list function I will write in my code, and I will call that print list function using this head, and we will see whether we will get the same output or not, whether it will print the entire linked list or not. So where I have to write that code means here I will write like a normal function only. I will write that print list function. So void print list of list, right? Print list of basically what it will take node star temp. Node star temp. So initially what we have to do, if at all my temp is equals to null or not, I have to check. Null or not, a null pointer or not, I have to check. If this thing is true, if at all my temp is null, then what I have to do, see out of, I have to print a message that singly linked list is empty. Whatever message you want to print, singly linked list is empty. So like this simple message we are printing. And after printing this singly linked list is empty message, what we have to do we have to do anything more under this? No, nothing. So simply return from here only. So in the else part, what we have to do, so no need of any else, because here only we are terminating, right? Here only we are terminating, so no need of else part. So directly go with while loop. While till what extent we have to continue? Until and unless my temp will become null, I have to continue this code. Okay, so inside this I have to print C out of, I have to print temp of data part, then give one space in between, then go to the temp equals to, we have to, after printing we have to move the temp to the next node, isn't it? So temp equals to temp of next, temp of next. So like this, temp equals to temp of next. So this function will do my job. Okay, will do my job, will do my printing job, printing the linked list, only this one. Traversal of linked list, it is a 2 marks question. How you perform the traversal of linked list? So what you mean by traversal? First of all, you have to write. Then how we perform a single link traversal on a singly linked list means this simple piece of code you have to write. How we check, how we are checking whether the linked list is empty or not, and how we are performing, how we are accessing all the elements using this temporary variable. These two things you have to write, this code you have to write. That's it. So now I'm calling that function, print list function, and we see whether it will give the whether it will print the linked list on the output screen or not. So print list of what we have to pass, head pointer we have to pass, because this head only pointing to the first node, and from the first node we have to reach till the end node. So whatever head is holding, that same thing will get copied into this temp, and from there you know the processing. So now I'm storing, already it got saved. So compile, it's taking time. It is successfully compiled, then run. Yes, as you can see, we are able to see the content of, because we saved in the first node data part 1, second node data part 2, third node data part 3. Simply to get more clarity, change this content. Instead of 10, 20, 30, let us say I'm saying 1, 10, and here I'm saying 22, and here I'm saying 35. So like this I'm changing the content, nodes content. So now what will happen? You see, save the content, compile, compilation is successful. Okay, then you go and execute, run, the same content we will get. As you can see, 10, 22, 35. So in this way we can implement a linked list. Okay, very simple procedure. We have many different concepts, like after creating the linked list, let us say if I want to add a new node over here, how we can add, adding a new node over here, how we can add, removing a new node, removing an existing node. Suppose if I want to remove this node, how we can do that one. All these things we will see in our upcoming videos. So the time complexity analysis we have to do over here. See, traversing a single linked list involves visiting all the nodes head to node. So that node count, initially we don't know how many nodes a particular linked list is going to have, that we don't know. So visiting visiting the linked list from head to end. What I mean to say is from head node to the last node. Basically, we don't know how many nodes we are going to have in between. So we are operating this while loop. As you can see, this while loop over here, it is a loop. This while loop, it operates from head node to the last node, and that number, how many nodes we are going to have into that linked list, we don't know. So it is an unknown value. So we consider it as n. The number of nodes, if you consider it as n, then the number of times this loop will iterate, that is also n, isn't it? Because if you have one node, it will iterate only one time. If you have two nodes, it will iterate two nodes, because basically this loop, it is going to visit the node and it is going to print that node's content, isn't it? And it will also iterate when the loop is false. When the loop gets false, that is nothing but to the null also. It will also visits the last node's next pointer also. So that extra consideration, even if you do, that will become n plus 1 only. So that will not change anything in your function, because it is a constant value. Adding 1 to an unknown number, it will not change anything. It is something like adding a drop of water to an ocean. Does it makes any sense? No. So similar to that one, no, unknown value is n, because how many times, how many nodes I'm going to have in my linked list, that is unknown. So similar to that one, how many times this loop will iterate, that is also unknown. So we are considering that value as n. So my time function, it is n. So the order will be O of n. order of n. So the time complexity of this function, time complexity of this print list function is order of n, because it is having a loop, and that loop will iterate for some unknown number of times. And that iteration, that unknown number of times, basically depends on the number of nodes in your linked list. If you have only one node, it will iterate only one time. If you have two nodes, it will iterate two times. If you have 100 nodes, it will iterate 100 times. If you have n nodes, it will iterate n times. Hopefully you understood this concept. Traversal means what, and how we are calculating the time complexity of this print list function, traversal function. Hope you understood. Okay, in our next class, basically we are going to see whenever we are inserting new nodes into the linked list, what procedures we have, what methods we have, what functions we are going to implement. What are the different ways? Okay, suppose if you consider some X node where you want to include your new node, after that X node, before that X node, and suppose if you want to delete a particular node, what are the possibilities? Deleting the head node, deleting the last node, deleting some node in between. Likewise, all these considerations we have to do, and all these analysis we have to do, that we will do in our upcoming videos. Hopefully you understood today's concept. Of course, it is a complicated stuff. I suggest you to watch my videos again and again. If you're not understanding, watch my videos again and again. And moreover, don't relate the coding with other things. Like, we have a lot of implementations on the internet for linked lists, for stacks, for queues, for doubly linked list, for different types of implementations. We have a lot of coding on the internet readily available. Okay, the one which we understand very easily, the one which we can analyze easily, that only I have selected. That only I have selected, and I have modified in such a way that we can understand the concept very easily. See, implementation of linked list is very important, is our concern, is an important thing. But how we are doing that implementation, it is not at all concern. Some author will do in one way, some other author will do in another way. Okay, everybody, as I told you, everybody will have their own algorithms, and everybody will have their own codings for that singly linked list implementation. I am following my own way. And if you see that Sartaj Sahani book, in that also we have some kind of implementation. If you see that if you refer the internet, like your W3 classrooms or your BTech classrooms, any source of material, if you refer, there also we have a different type of implementation. Here, if you refer my notes, here we have our own way of implementation. Okay, by referring all that stuff, by referring that Sartaj Sahani book, by referring that BTech classrooms, by referring that W3 classrooms, all those things, I have made this particular coding for you. And don't try to study the complete part as a single thing, complete concept as a single thing. Divide the concept into modules, small units, and try to solve those small units, so that it will become very easy for you. So initially we have done the singly linked list implementation with 3 nodes. Now we have seen how to do the traversal. In our next class we see how we do the insertion, and after that we see how to do the deletion. Likewise we proceed. So in 2 more classes, I'm going to wind up this singly linked list concept, and after that we see doubly linked list. That is also like three to 4 classes, and with that we will conclude our third unit, hopefully. And after that we have to see the stack implementation and queue implementation using this singly linked list. Okay, that will be a part of your third unit only, and that will another 1 class or 2 classes, hopefully. So inshallah, very soon we are going to wind up this third unit, so that we will enter into fourth unit, hopefully. Okay, thank you very much, students.